So this video should be a quite short one, just looking back at the last 5 or 6 episodes, which are documenting. They're a bit of a monologue, and yeah, they're a bit boring apart from a few jokes and a lot of swearing and mentioning golf and pain a lot. I needed to document where I am today and how I got there today to try and clearly demonstrate to people that the body is really shit at showing you through pain where the problem lies. And I should have got things checked out much longer ago, and also I should have got more opinions and things like that, but I didn't. I was, let's just do this, typical bloke approach to it. I want to get it done, and the man said I could get golf done. So I ended up having to go find a surgeon who specialises in failed hip repairs. I'd gone from being in pain but walking, being able to play golf once every couple of months because it really did set me back and caused me a lot of pain. I would walk almost 3 kilometers a day around the golf course, but again I was having a lot of pain with that and it was getting worse, so yeah, I had to go find something out. It only took me I don't know, it took me the neck end of 10 years to start really doing something about it seriously. So put that in the past. I'm now going to the UK and it wasn't all bad. I went on a trip to the UK via Dubai and Cyprus, and travelling when you've got problems with your legs, etc., is really unpleasant. I'm glad I could walk a little bit, because if you can't walk at all, Jesus, that must be so tough, because airlines and airports really just don't think of you as a able-bodied person. They just don't. You're a second or third class citizen, and I've got something in my eye, so it's bugging me, sorry. That's better, and I've also got an espresso, so I'll keep drinking that. But I'll do another video soon and send it to the various airlines that I use in airports, so I had to document just how shit it was. I'll post a funny video later on about how much fun it is as well. So this hasn't been all bad, but I eventually sit in front of a surgeon. He's top. He's Premier League. He sort of costs Premier League as well, but he's Premier League, and he just looked at the he didn't even look at the MRI. He just looked at the X-rays and went, "So what did your surgeon say?" And I told him I'd be playing golf, that he could repair it, and I'd be playing golf very soon. And one of the gardeners was passed on his motorbike. That I'd be playing golf really soon with him. And the guy literally turned around and it's like, it's irreparable. God can't repair that. You can't do it. There's no hip to repair. You have no cartilage. You've torn your labrum to pieces. I mean, it's a mess. There's only one solution for you. There's only ever been one solution for you, and that's been total hip replacement, and you need to get it done fast because your hip really is bad. Now, there was unequivocal. It was just, did I pronounce that right? It's just absolute. You've got to get it done. It's got to be replacement, total hip replacement. Got to get it done now because it's in a mess. For somebody to even suggest hip repair, that's on the lunacy scale, and possibly if that was in the UK, you'd probably have grounds to actually take them to court and blah blah. Not really that bothered about that. I just want to get walking again. That's all I want. I don't want to be on the crutches again for much longer. Just get me sorted. So that's all I want. So he gave me the diagnosis, the prognosis, and said, there's a guy in Kuala Lumpur who did a fellowship with me in Canada, so he knows, he knows Caucasian hips. Asian hips, Caucasian hips are quite different. I'm not going to recommend him, but I am going to speak highly of him and say that he's a very competent surgeon. So this is his name. Go see him when you're back in KL, which I did. I didn't show this guy any information at all other than I did with the doctor in the UK, and just said, there you go, MRI, here's my X-rays. And again, just like the guy in the UK said, don't need to see the MRI. I can see very plainly from the X-ray you need a hip replacement and you need it like now, because your hip is really bad and you really need to start considering getting this done pretty quickly. We went through the ins and outs of posterior, anterior, robotic, but that's just the way it is. And I'll go through that in much greater detail as soon as I can get rid of the context and get onto what's actually happening right now, and I've made decisions on how to go forward with my hip. Taking a leaf out of my own book from previously, I decided my wife was right and I needed to get more opinions, so I went to see another doctor. We checked around with a lot of people. I know people who've had hip replacements here, of course, so we checked with them, and this one name kept coming up all the time. A fairly new hospital. This hospital is really just purely for orthopedic work, so it's full of top-rated orthopedic surgeons. They don't do robotic, which I was curious about and interested in, and so I went to see this guy. He'd been recommended by other surgeons, been recommended by other people who'd had him. And it's vital. Don't go off Google, because I think you'll find that Google is any reviews on Google are a bit dodgy. I wouldn't review a doctor on Google. Sorry. Go for word of mouth as much as you can, and talk to people as much as you can. Find people who've had hip replacements as much as you can. Just go see them. So I did. I went to see this guy, and to cut a long story short, even though he's not doing robotic, and I quite fancied that, I just felt he's calm. He's done plenty of hip replacements. That's vital. He has the right experience. I did lots of research on this guy, and I brought up his whole career with him. We discussed it for about 45 minutes. We discussed the types of implants. We discussed who I am as a person. We discussed the problem that I've had. I mean, he instantly looked at my X's, and again, same as the other guys. He said, hip repair was never an option for you, unfortunately, and it should never have been performed. You really do need hip replacement, because there's nothing there to work with there for hip repair. You need a replacement. So they're all singing off the same hymn sheet. I just felt comfortable with this guy. If I hadn't, I'd probably gone to see more surgeons. But it's just the way the hospital handled it. They assigned like a project manager. They took more x-rays to make damn sure, and bloods and all kinds of stuff. And I was there maybe 3.5 hours for what I thought was just going to be a half an hour consult, and I felt really comfortable. I could have stayed there a bit longer because they've got a nice coffee shop there. So yeah, I've made a decision, and I'll do a little video as well after this on how I arrived at the decision. So you've just had 10 years in about 6 episodes, and you've got the final decision making process in only a few minutes. So now we're almost bang up to date. I'll do something about what I thought are the key questions to answer that I needed from the doctors, and the responses to those questions that I made. And I had a bloody big list of them. I've gone through shit, so I'm going to make damn sure that I feel comfortable and happy with what they say.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.